Hey guys, this is Bal again, back with another edition of FAQ on trading. This topic today is about something that's dear to my heart. And the reason why it's dear to my heart because I grew up in it. The topic is chat rooms. Is it worth being in a chat room, a trading stock chat room that is, or are you better off just kind of learning on your own? So I wanted to make a sort of quick but yet comprehensive discussion about it. And I'll leave the opinions to everybody else. Because you know what, man? In life, what works for some may not work for others, right? So I respect your opinion about this. But before you have made up your mind, I want to tell you how to properly utilize chat rooms. Because I don't believe that everybody understands how they can use a chat room for their own benefit. And just a quick thing, why am I always like looking away and driving all this stuff? I'm so busy every day. I come up with these ideas when I'm driving. So as a kid, I would drive around. Well, I'm old now, so I consider myself a kid even when I was 20s, right? Drive around, clears my brain. It's just, you know, it's like I like driving. So when I drive, it clears my mind. It's just something about driving that I enjoy. So I think that's how all these driving videos came about, because it kind of calms me down. Maybe next time I'll do a walking, but for some reason driving, I like driving. But anyway, so chat rooms. People have nightmares and success stories about chat rooms, okay? I started with a nightmare. Everybody has a nightmare story with chat rooms, right? You get into the chat room, you don't know what you're doing, you're chasing pumps and dumps, you don't know what's going on. I've lost a lot of money. I thought the guy that was a moderator, guy's name is all flashy and bold, he knew what he's doing. You know, the problem is, it's like any other product or service. If you get in the wrong one and you don't know how to utilize it, you're pretty much toast, man. You're caught chasing. This is the life of learning, right? It's like a relationship. You get a relationship, you don't know if this girl is using you for money or whatever it may be, right? You learn, that's it. It's like, so I go on dates and then these girls are gold diggers. Does that mean I stop going on dates? No, it just means I picked the wrong girl. And as more dates I go on, I understand how to navigate through the dating world to get what I want, right? Same thing with the chat room, guys. It's like, don't give up. If you choose not to, then you wouldn't know. You know, but man, it's like, for example, I've ran into a lot of people that go, thank God I ran into MIT, because the other chat rooms were just horrible. So, I mean, you have to go through a bunch of them to understand, right? If you happen to get lucky the first time, very well. So I'm gonna tell you how, instead of telling you all the negatives of chat rooms, which I'm sure you got millions, I'm gonna show you how to properly use a chat room to optimize your trading. What a chat room for me at this level is, it replaces a scanner. I still have my scanner, by the way, because I make enough money. I budgeted for the scanner. I still have a scanner, but the scanner is not going to tell you who's pumping that stock. The scanner is just going to go, oh, this stock got, boom, it went up to whatever, it went up more than 10%. If I set my scanners to alert me maybe after 8%, if a stock's up 8% for the day, it gaps up 8%, it alerts me, things like that, right? And so that's all the scanner does. I then have to go and figure out why the stock is up. Is it because of news? Is it because someone pumped it? Is it because of what? So I am doing all of the due diligence, the research myself. With a chat room, oh my God, I have hundreds of guys in there who already woke up before me, who understand the stock, who looked up the filings, do all this. And so I'm like, it's a shared teamwork environment. If you're stuck in the wrong chat room where it's competitive and they're putting false information out to pump, then you're screwed. Then it's not about the chat room, guys. It's you're just in a bad relationship. Doesn't mean all relationships are bad, right? So being in the right environment is teamwork. So that's the first thing. You share the workload with a bunch of people, your friends. You know, within a chat room, you do not have to read the main two. You can have a group of private chat guys. So let's say you and 5 other guys that you trust in the chat room. You know, you have your own little private discussion, private chat, a private group chat. There we go. That's a subset of a chat room. And so you use the main chat room to figure out the news plays. And so when stock goes up, a lot of times they're like, why does stock go up? Middle of the day. And some guy will go, oh, because such and such chat room pumped it. That is key, guys. The fact that I know that the pump or the stock is moving because of an artificial pump, not because of some sort of reason, like real news from a company, you know, or a filing came out. It's because some guy who has access to 1,000 sheep decides to pump it. You know how much money that saves me? That I can determine that this stock is a pump and dump. So if I'm going along on this pump and dump, and I thought that news came out on that stock, and I'm loading up along, and then the guy dumps it, and now you're stuck back holding. How much would you have lost? Knowing that some pump room pumped up the stock, and that's the reason why that stock went up. Or if you're holding a position and that chat room happens to be pumping that stock, you know you should be getting out because it's an artificial pump. So right then and there is your value for a chat room. Chat room helps you with teamwork to figure out your filings or whatever you need to do. Just getting a general idea. Of course, if you do not know how to use it correctly, you will be influenced negatively, right? But that's the same thing as anything else. If you have bad friends in real life, it doesn't mean you stop having friends. You know, you do not. It just means you chose the wrong group of guys to be friends with. So that's the number one thing. Teamwork and figuring what's going on. More eyes. This is like having your own trading desk, guys. Trading room. Imagine a floor full of traders. We have like 700-800 people in our chat room, and imagine like having such powerful resources. You know, this is why I like to keep MIC very clean. If guys are pumping, I kick them out. There's a strict no pump rule. You can talk about your plays, and it looks like this thing is moving, but don't be pumping like go to the moon. You know, it's like, and I'm pumping out fake old news to try to pump and dump. We don't do that. We don't do alerts. We don't do things like that. And so, you know, you set the tone right then and there. And so number two is also learning. There's a bunch of guys with different skill sets. I'm a very good technical trader. Very good technical. I'm a technical trader but I am not an expert on, let's say, filings. I do not dig into years of filings and try to find warrants and all that. And so that's where the chat room comes in. I was like, dude, so I have a bunch of guys that are very talented at that. They're so good at finding that. And so together, I come up with the technical areas that we can trade, and they come up with the reasons. And so together, we work as a team. And how powerful is that, guys? So I'll give you an example. So MIC is $179. If I can find one play or one resource that covers that chat room is already paid for it in itself. $179 is not even one trade. I mean, if you're starting with a small account, maybe it may hurt you, right? It's a 10. Let's say if you have $2,000, $179 is almost 10%, right? But at that level, you're using chat room to learn. Okay, where can you learn for $179? If you're learning on your own, first of all, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose way more than $179 trying to figure all this stuff out. One tip that you learn from the chat room will save you, like a 10-30 rule, the zombie rules, just things like that. Learning about the float, for instance. I didn't know any of that stuff when I started trading. I just thought, I didn't even know about being able to hide shares. You know what I'm saying? So you learn a lot of valuable things that will save you. So in the beginning, it's all about learning and meeting people. I met some of my best friends from chat rooms. Because you know what, man? I'm going to tell you something. Trading is a very, very lonely life. It's miserable. Sometimes it's like, dude, you have a good day, you can't tell anybody. And God forbid you have a bad day, you can't tell anybody. Who's gonna understand that you just lost their month's salary in one day? You know, you can't tell anybody. And anybody that would listen would not relate. They're not a trader. They would not relate. They go, why are you so stupid? They would think trading is like going to the casino, right? So finding friends that are in your field. So because you're trading by yourself. I've sat for decades by myself, and it's the most lonely existence. So not until I met people in the chat room, it became more of a social. We are human beings, man. I like the social aspects of trading as well. Talk about trades, how you do, talk to, BS all day. Just having that community has saved my psyche. These guys that, it depends. Like, if you're a full-time trader, I don't see anybody all day. I ate something at a pizza place. If it depends, right? If you are working 9 to 5, you may not need a chat room as much. Or maybe actually you do need it because you don't have time to scan on your own. See? So, I mean, it depends on the person, actually. But if you utilize the chat room correctly, in my opinion, everybody can find value somewhere. Be it finding new friends, networking. Dude, I have guys, I don't know how to do Photoshop, like graphic design stuff. I have guys that, hey, anybody's a graphic designer. Boom, right there. I have friends online who's a CPA. I have doctors, lawyers, all sorts of people, right? Engineers. Oh, my car broke, mechanic. I mean, using the power of a chat room. And you know why I love the MIC? Because if I want to meet friends, where can I go? To a bar? And then what? You have to ask them what they do, and you filter out, and then where do you live? And so when you have an environment where you share a common goal, and our common goal is to day trade, to make money, to become a better person, right? Working hard, taking care of our family. There we go. You've already came to an environment where you filter out a bunch of people. These are the people that are like-minded and share the same goals as you. So not only are you going to make more money, your whole social aspect of life is better. There's all sorts of things I learn from people. I'm meeting people from around the world. Everywhere I go, there's someone that says, hey, pal, you're in MIC? I go to, I met some random people who now are the moderators, like Aloha Trader, is like awesome guy, We ran each other randomly in Hawaii. And then now he's like the moderator, right? Because like, where would I ever meet someone like that? I'm meeting people from around the world, from Turkey, Africa. We have people everywhere. You learn all sorts of different things, man. I mean, it's the chat room for me opened up a world, a universe that I never knew existed. I'm not even talking about the money aspects of learning to trade, finding out information and stuff. I mean, it's obvious you can make more money with a chat room. I mean, that's a given. If someone's not making money through a chat room, I could just talk to me. I will teach you how to use it right. You use it by figuring out fundamentals, filings, figure out technical analysis. Like if you don't know technical analysis, someone can help you figure out what the resistance is, where the support is. So, I mean, where can you just find the information? You can't Google it. Google's not going to tell you in real time what the support resistance of these lines are, of this chart is. But you know what? Even in the chat room, you ping a message, boom, someone has the answer. Hey, is this stock being diluted? Hey, is this S1 effective to be sold? Who are you going to ask? So number one is, if used correctly, you will make money. Okay? If used incorrectly, like any other product, you would lose money. So to say that it is a distraction, it's only a distraction because, in my opinion, it's you. You are easily distracted. I'm trading. I'm not looking at the chat room all day like this. I'm trading. I look at the chat room to see what stocks are moving. When the stock, when I see these guys, this has FDA news. Boom! I put it into my software and I see what's moving. Versus me looking at a scanner and there's a ton of stuff and the scanner just tells you the price and the news. There's just too much stuff on the scanner, And so I have a floor of hundreds of guys actively looking all the time, including myself. So if I see a play, I will type out the play. This so and such has news. And then this is how teamwork works within MIC, guys. I'm a technical trader. I may not be the fastest on news anymore, right? So there's guys that are fast on news. And so those guys post out the news. And then I see the ticker. I type in and I do the technical analysis and tell them where the resistance and support is. I show them the chart, actually, with all the lines in there, right? And then so based upon the charts, we develop the areas of interest that we now zone in and start trading upon that. And then other guys are looking up the filings and say, okay, on this date, there's a warrant that's about to be hit. There is shares are being offloaded, and then there's other guys doing other types of research. So this becomes, oh my God, dude, we now just turned ourselves into a trading floor. We are a hedge fund or some sorts, right? A trading fund now, where everybody's special skill set is being utilized. Technical trading. I have a team of guys doing the research on the filings, and have other guys looking at scanners to see what's moving. And I also have other guys that are in multiple chat rooms telling me, hey man, Bao, this is not a news play. This is just a pump and dump. And knowing that, I'm like looking for short locates, trying to short that thing, because I know that it's a pump. It has to be dumped. There's no merit for it being up. And right there, man. And I guarantee you, each week at least there are a few plays like that pays for the chat room for an annual, well, for me anyways, right? You know, like all it takes for me is one play. I'll make like an annual. It pays for the annual, right? And so like today, I came in, I'm like, so what's moving yesterday? Because I had a late start yesterday, and I asked the people like, hey, what was the hot stocks yesterday? So I got the hot stocks yesterday, and those became my low-hanging fruit today. And I made money on WORX shorting at the very top. How did I do that? I asked the room, what was the plays that you played yesterday? If I didn't have that chat room, how would I find out? It was yesterday. I mean, and there's so many tickers to look, guys. So, you know what, man? Like everything in life, like relationships, like if you don't know how to drive a car, you're not going to fully utilize the Ferrari. Dude, I don't even utilize my Ferrari. I drive it the same way I drive my Honda Accord. The same way I drive my Mercedes-Benz, right? I don't fully utilize it. But it's not a hindrance. And of course, if you don't utilize it, there's no need for it. So I'm not here to convince you that everybody needs chat room. Just like I'm not here to convince you that everybody does not need a scanner. I'm just trying to tell you that if you had to pick one or the other, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, guys. Chat room all the way. I grew up in chat rooms. I've been in a chat room since I started trading. I learned most of my stuff from chat rooms. It was, and I've met most of my best friends from chat rooms. And yes, I've lost a lot of money through chat rooms, but I've also made a lot more money through chat rooms. And more importantly, I made more relationships in chat rooms than I have on my own, going to bars or wherever it may be. So, and chat rooms pointing me to Twitter, where my presence is, you know. So these guys say, oh, I met him on Twitter. It's all because of someone telling you and showing you that, you know, this person on Twitter. So it's a whole network. It's an ecosystem that's comprises of all sorts of social media, guys. And so don't disregard the chat room. I am in multiple chat rooms to figure out what people are trading and all this stuff. And so if you want to learn more, guys, hit me up. I will tell you how to utilize chat rooms to make you a lot of money. And better yet, besides the money, which is obviously you make more money with chat room if you use it correctly, learning, make more relationships, more friends that you may be friends for the rest of your life. I met some of my best friends. I met one guy, he was living in Germany at the time. Germany. And I am in California, New York. And he happens to be one of my best friends, dude. And together we've made like 8 figures of money trading together, you know. So I mean, not only we made money, we made lifelong relationships and friends. And I would never have been able to do it without him, without the other support from members of the community, because they all helped me to become who I am today. Everybody chips in, man. I would be trading, I'd turn and look at the chat room, and someone says, Fannie Mae had bad news. Boom. Or Fannie Mae had good news. Boom. I'm like, buy. Sell. How would I have ever known? You know? And then the thing is, I can't do everything myself. I can't have my eyes at the news all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes a teamwork, guys. So if you use it correctly, like anything else, it becomes a powerful thing. So you think about it, man. Guys at Goldman Sachs have trading floors. They don't trade it in isolation. Their chat room are their people. But we do not have the luxury. We're sitting at our home in our underwear or maybe you maybe or we don't have the luxury of sitting around with a bunch of Ivy League traders in one floor. You know, we have to do what we do. So this is the common man trading floor. Think of it not as a chat room, but think of that. I might rename it now to a trading floor. How about that, guys? So that's why I call it a club. It's community. My investing club. I don't call it a chat room. Chat rooms get a very bad name. So think of it as a trading floor. You now are amongst a group of other traders. All right, guys. Catch you later.